Bad news, Brown. Let's get right into it, man. Let me speak a little bit about the longshoremen port strikes, because this is, I don't even want to say this is a warning of what's to come, because it's pretty much already here. But this will give you people in the U.S., in my opinion, a taste of a little bit of struggle. Not that we don't go through struggles, but let me break it down. So now, from what I'm hearing, the longshoremen workers are striking basically from the eastern coast on down south, basically from Boston to Texas, and they striking. So, and usually what that means is, so if you don't know, a lot of the goods that we get from China and other places, it comes through the ports. And when it comes through the ports, they get put on trucks. And the trucks you see, they take them to probably, I would say, distribution centers. And from the distribution centers, they get to your stores. And from the stores, they get to you. And so that's usually how most of the goods and supplies you get to your home from point A to point Z, I should put. So now what what this means is, of course, there's going to be rising prices. And this is the thing, because you already got inflation. Prices as high as it is, and they're going to get higher. And this here strike is just going to be another excuse for prices to rise, whether it's a legitimate excuse or not. Because even during the whole pandemic, I can see how a lot of price gouging was jumping off. Where you go to certain stores, although they can say, well, yeah, we got to rise the price because of COVID. They just gave them an opportunity to really up the price on us, and this will be another opportunity for them to do that, if you ask me. So you definitely will want to prepare. And this is the thing about staying ready, so you ain't got to get ready. And this is how it gonna happen. This is how it happens in history. There are always gonna be millions of people who get caught slipping. And of course, you don't want to be those one of those millions, but usually that's how it ends up, because you got to stay prepared, and you should already have a stockpile of goods and supplies in the event. But how can you do that when most people is living check to check? So they can't even stockpile much, if anything. So it's a lot of problems, and these are problems that's been going on. But this is definitely a peek at what's to come, because it's gonna be, we're gonna wake up one day and we're gonna get a real taste of the real world. I'm gonna put it like that, because up in the US, don't get me wrong, especially the African American, yeah, we definitely suffer a whole lot and continue to suffer. And yet still, we, how should I put it, in certain countries they go through a lot worse, especially when it comes to war. And I mentioned this before. Hell, 5 years ago in certain countries, it was a whole different president on their dollar bill, a whole different way to do things. So they used to change. See, us, we ain't been changed. The U.S., they don't do sudden changes. They're a little slick enough, so they do it subtle. So most of the U.S. citizens are used to cold turkey, period. I don't care what it's from, drugs, alcohol, goods, supplies, lifestyle. Most of us are used to that cold turkey. Yeah, we about to get a taste of it. It's coming, just you wait. But, and I'm not saying that to, as in preparation, or as in to rallying it to happen, although some people figure, well, it'll get worse before it get better, and in order for people to understand, maybe some stark need to happen. But regardless, this is just to kind of let y'all know, man, this this stuff y'all be seeing on TV, y'all know is filtered information. Some of it's fake news, but a lot of it is not, to the degree of kind of let you know the direction the world going to. But another thing I want to mention, because this has me thinking, because the whole port, from what I was able to gather, of course, automation, so they don't want their jobs to be replaced. And this is not only for them, and this is going to even go down to the fast food worker. And naturally, when technology progresses, it's a less need for human involvement on certain things. And if you, in my opinion, if you let them tell it, this is one of the reasons why they need to depopulate the world. There's too many people, and it's not enough cows, it's not enough nothing. But that's BS because it's a method to the madness. But the thing is, though, this just remind me of how y'all got to, like I said, not only get used to the cold turkey, but just got to get used to the overall change in the world, especially when it comes to this technology thing. And for better or for worse, a lot of stuff is about to start happening, and it will be less need for human involvement in certain junctions of that particular good or service. You understand? Don't get me wrong, as much technology you're gonna have, you're gonna still need men to program the computers. And when the machines start ailing, you still gonna need specialists to go ahead and work them. But the actual labor that the machines is doing, of course, was done by humans. But this is kind of remind me of the old school, slavery. See, a lot of people tend to think slavery was, don't get me wrong, a lot of people morally was against it. You had abolitionists, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, in hindsight, slavery ended due to technology, the industrial age. So it was out with the plantations and on to the factories to wage slavery. This is kind of like where we at now, and it look like a transition maybe coming along again. But I just want to reiterate that. So that's to let you know that change do happen, change is inevitable, and you got to be able to adjust and pivot. You understand? And that's a good example. I'm pretty sure them old school rednecks or whoever, farmers, man, they wasn't with that. They wouldn't want to get rid of their slaves. But the money, the technology, as we see, run everything out here. So I don't give a damn how you feel to that degree. It doesn't matter. Just understand, but that just got me thinking, bro. And that's really what I really want to say about this whole port thing. It ain't the first, won't be the last strike. It's gonna be many more strikes, but it's just gonna be another excuse to rise prices, and pretty much that's it. But that does kind of let you know this automation thing, if you want to call it AI, it's definitely here, and it could be taking a position near you, forcing you to be more creative. But in the meantime, man, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I suggest you save as much as you could. Medical plot supplies, defensive supplies, etc., what have you. Start networking with people who maybe feel the same way or don't even, you may not even like them, but hey, y'all might be forced to like each other. It's kind of like, in gangs in prison, on the street you funking, but up in here, man, we got to come together. You got bigger ops. You understand? So right now, your op is the economy. The system, that's your op. You understand? That's your op, man. But stay ready, sure, I got to get ready, man. But that's my thoughts on the whole port strike. I'm not even about to get into the whole intricacies of workers' rights and this and that, because basically they try to take their jobs. You understand? It's that simple. And technology probably will at some point, depending. You understand? Men versus machines, brains versus computers.